You're listening to Strange by Nature, your guide to the strange, weird, unbelievable, and improbable wonders of the natural world.
Hello, everyone, and thanks for being here today. I'm Kirk Mona, and joining me are Rachel Gimza and Victoria Thompson. We're all naturalists who together have scoured the world for weird and wonderful wonders, just to please your mammalian brain's desire for novelty. Isn't that nice? Let's do this.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the show.
You're so excited,
as usual.
Kurt.
You're really excited. Wow.
That was so much energy. Wow.
Just got to bring the energy. You know, people are looking for a fun time, I think. And I do feel bad. I think some people were maybe not excited about my topic of worms in the nose.
No.
A few episodes back.
No.
I can see from the stats, some people didn't even listen to that fascinating story. So, their loss.
Truly.
Loss. I got
Truly,
something not at all gross for you this week.
Oh,
Great.
good. Yay.
Yeah. So a few weeks back, I talked about the loneliest tree in the world. It was a Sitka spruce living on Campbell Island. It's a pretty cool story. Go back and listen if you missed it. There are no worms and noses.
Nope.
So this Sitka spruce is a little over 200 kilometers from any other living tree.
Right.
But it wasn't always the loneliest tree in the world.
Oh, really?
Okay.
That title used to belong to a different tree, and this other tree was actually more famous.
Did somebody plant a tree in Antarctica or something?
Might
No.
know the loneliest tree. I feel like I've heard a little bit. Is one of those like listicles.
Are you sure you're not thinking of the episode we did a couple weeks back?
No, not that one.
Okay,
when you
just
were
checking.
talking about it a couple weeks ago, I was very much like thinking about like a listicles.
Okay.
I got into one of those like research spirals a few years ago about like
Sure.
very unique trees, like the oldest tree, the tallest
Yeah,
tree, things
yeah.
like that.
Mhm.
I feel like
Well,
I heard,
we'll see
know
if this
about
is what you were
something.
thinking of.
Yeah.
In that last episode, I had you name some of the places that you might expect to like not find trees. And one of the locations mentioned was the desert.
Right.
And that is exactly where we're headed today.
Ooh.
And specifically, we're headed to Ténéré, which is a Tuareg word for desert. And Tuareg is the language of the Berber people of Africa, a group that spans Mali, Niger, Algeria, Libya, Burkina Faso, and parts of Chad. And Ténéré means desert, just like Sahara means desert in Arabic. And indeed,
So-
the Ténéré desert is part of the larger Sahara desert.
The desert,
So
desert.
it's desert.
Yeah, the desert. Yeah,
Like chai
basically.
tea is TT. Got it.
Yeah. So the part I want to focus on today is in the country of Niger. And before we get to the tree, I want to tell you a bit about the desert.
Okay.
It's hot. It's hot.
Yeah.
It's hot. You
Not
said.
surprisingly,
Is it also dry?
it is dry as well.
my
Gosh,
God.
Whoa.
the
Is
insight
there
that the two of you
sand?
bring to this show is just stunning,
Oh.
if I must say. So we record here in Minnesota, and maybe once per summer, maybe twice, we might get an air temperature of over 100 degrees Fahrenheit, right?
Yeah.
And that
Awful.
is,
Hate it.
those are gross days.
I hate
And
it.
humid. It's humid. It's
That,
gross.
that's
very
the
humid.
thing.
It's a very
Everyone
humid
is
heat,
like,
that's
oh,
true.
it's not that bad. That's not too hot. One, we're in northern people. We are not built for the heat. And then
No,
two,
and it's also like
it's
1,000%
wet,
humidity. I know that's
damp-
not possible.
It is a wet, damp heat
It's
that
awful.
just sticks to you.
I think it's kind of fun to experience in a weird way, like to be like, oh, I was like, but not for a long time on end. Now, the average summer temperature in summer in Ténéré is 104 degrees Fahrenheit or 40 degrees centigrade.
Wait, not the average high, but the average temperature?
The average summer temperature, apparently, is
Oh,
what I have down in my notes. Maybe that was the average high. I think probably.
I
The average
hope
high, yeah.
so.
Because I imagine
like,
it gets kind of chilly
I
at
think
night.
what it is like it gets it's regularly like the average day is just 104 degrees. That's just how high it usually is.
Fair.
And And that's
Hate
just
that.
sort of the daily temperature for 5 months straight.
Yuck.
No.
Now, the record high temperature is 50 degrees Celsius, which is 122 Fahrenheit.
No thanks.
Winter, though,
Rather
is a
not.
bit chillier. Winter is chillier. The average day gets to about 85 degrees Fahrenheit or 30 centigrade.
Sounds pleasant.
So, yeah, that's pretty nice. Nice day.
Yeah.
And dry. So,
Okay.
I mean,
dry.
Okay.
85 and
I'll-
dry is
yeah.
pleasant.
85 and dry is gorgeous. So, not surprisingly, as you guys pointed out, there's not a lot of rain. It is, after all, a desert.
Mhm.
Average rainfall is just 10 to 15 millimeters for the
Oh, wow.
whole year. But many places in the desert receive no rainfall of any kind.
Right.
This is a pretty inhospitable place for life, and yet it wasn't always this way. We know that the land has been changing. It's been getting drier over time. This whole area was once, in fact, a forest, which is a powerful reminder of the power of climate change.
Mm-hmm.
And as the climate warmed and weather patterns shifted, those forests eventually gave way to deserts.
Mm-hmm.
One
Right.
tree, though, one tree remained, and it was called the Tree of Ténéré. This tree was an acacia tree, and it
Okay.
was all alone, the last survivor to remind humans that a forest had once been there.
Huh.
And this tree was famous to locals. I mean, no one really knew about this tree, the Sitka spruce we talked about on Campbell Island, because no one lives on Campbell Island. People live in this area, though.
Mhm.
And so locals knew about it. It was very famous. It was an important cultural landmark. It was even noted on maps, which, when you stop and think about it, have you ever seen a tree on a map?
No.
Not really, no.
Usually we put like mountains and cities and things. This is such an important landmark, and frankly, the only landmark. So on many maps, this tree was actually listed.
Cool.
And apparently, because caravans would actually gather at the tree before setting off across the desert. Now, Michael Lesourd, commander of the Allied military mission in 1939, saw the tree, and this is what he wrote: "One must see the tree to believe its existence. What is its secret? How can it still be living in spite of the multitudes of camels which trample at its sides? How at each azalea does not a lost camel eat its leaves and thorns? Why don't the numerous Tuareg leading the salt caravans cut its branches to make fire to brew their tea? The only answer is that the tree is taboo and considered as such by the caravanners. There is such a superstition, a tribal order which is always respected. Each year the azalea gather around the tree before facing the crossing of the Ténéré. The acacia has become a living lighthouse. It is the first or last landmark for the azalea leaving Agadez for Bilma or returning." So I don't know if I'm saying this right, but the azalea is a reference to one of the last camel caravan routes that actually still exist today in the desert. And caravans of thousands of camels transport rock salt to Timbuktu along this route.
Literally
was-
Timbuktu.
Yeah, literally Timbuktu. The tree was a special and essentially sacred lighthouse along this route. So you knew you were on the right path there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, around this same time when that guy wrote that passage, the winter of 1938-1939, a well was dug at the site, and they discovered that this tree's roots go down 33 to 36 meters. That's 108 to 118 feet
Oh my gosh.
to where,
Wow.
guess what was underground?
Water.
Water.
An aquifer.
Water, yeah. There was a water table right there, which is amazing, and it explains how this particular tree was able to survive so long in this incredibly arid desert.
Mm-hmm.
Now, very cool tree, very cool story. Sadly, you may have picked up on me using the past tense to describe
Yeah.
this tree. The tree had two trunks. It was a twin trunk. Neither were very large. From what I could gather, the tree was only a few meters tall,
Mm-hmm.
and probably very slow growing, considering what the harsh
Where it
climate it was in.
Yeah.
sometime in the 1940s, a careless truck driver
This
ran
is the tree.
into the tree.
No.
Yeah.
This is
You've
it.
heard about that?
This is what it was, yes.
How you can run into the only tree to be found for hundreds of kilometers
Yeah.
is really quite beyond me.
Drunk.
And this brings us to the
Careless
loneliest
is all
tree
get out.
designation. I mentioned that the nearest tree to the current loneliest tree on Campbell Island is 273 kilometers away in the Auckland Islands.
Mm-hmm.
When the Tree of Ténéré was still alive, it was estimated to be 300 years old, and the nearest other tree was said to be in the Air Mountains, which are 250 miles or 400 kilometers away,
Oh my.
Wow.
which is
So there weren't any other
much
like
further.
oases with palm trees or something that were closer?
No, there is another tree which is still alive, which is out in this same desert. But
Okay.
I believe, from what I could gather, there were other trees that are closer than the 250 miles away. From basically, there's 2 trees on the map, and now there's only one tree on the map in this desert. And so, it's definitely 400 kilometers is much further than the tree on Campbell Island is from
Yeah.
other trees. But I suppose you could argue that the tree on Campbell Island is also much further away from where Sitka spruce typically grow. So it's further away from other Sitka spruce, but
That's not
This
the
one was
qualifier,
still-
though.
that's not the qualifier, right? Now, the good news is, though, that when the tree was hit by a truck back in the 1940s, it didn't die.
Good.
Oh.
Yeah. The driver had only broken one of the 2 sort of limbs or trunks off of this tree.
Mm-hmm.
Sadly, though,
There it is.
a Libyan drunk driver driving another truck finished the job in 1973
Yep.
when, once again, a truck driver managed to hit the only tree within 250 miles.
Yeah. Kilometers?
Automobiles are a
Or
scourge on the face.
250 miles, 400 kilometers.
Got
Yeah,
it.
I mean, humans
Ugh.
are stupid creatures, you guys. I don't know what else to say here. Like, how
You
does
know,
this
the
happen?
only
Not
tree
once,
out there.
twice. 300
it-
years of camels walking by. That's okay. We get trucks out there and bam.
I was going to say, like, if you're drunk and you're riding a camel, the camel has enough sense not to run into the tree.
Correct.
You're right.
Correct. Just, it's terrible. There is on the site today a sculpture of a tree. Doesn't particularly look at the tree that was there, but people have built a sculpture to put
That's
up,
nice.
which is cool. The sort of bones, if you will, of the tree, the remains of it, were actually taken and put under like a shrine at like sort of an outdoor site because this was a really important culturally significant tree. So technically, you can still see the tree. It's just no longer at the original site and no longer alive.
Mm-hmm.
So, it kind of speaks to the fact that trees can be important physical, cultural, and spiritual landmarks to humans. They live longer than we do, and they stand, if we let them, as sentinels of time and place, grounding themselves in the earth and standing as silent lighthouses showing us the way. So we should respect our trees.
That's
Don't run into them.
Please don't run into them. The tree
My
might not make it,
sources-
but also you might not.
Well, that is true as well. My sources this week were a really cool website called The Treeographer, and then various facts and figures I pulled from Wikipedia.
Awesome. Thanks, Kirk.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, it'll be Rachel.
Woohoo! Welcome back to the show, everyone. Now, I've sent both of you a picture.
Oh, dear.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Okay.
So go ahead, take a look. I want you to describe to our listeners what are you looking at?
Okay, it looks like maybe a pice of coral or something. It's
Yeah,
got a
kind of corally. Very
branching
delicate.
aspect.
Yep. Almost
Okay.
looks like, this isn't right, but it's sort of brain-like, but like not like a solid mass of brain, like a
Like almost like
like
a neuron.
Yeah, it's got this.
Yeah.
It's got sort of a fractal branching pattern. I can see though a little bit of a ruler in the corner of the picture with what I'm assuming are millimeters. So this is
Oh, it's small. Yes.
Maybe
this is
2
very-
centimeters across. Boy, sort of slime mold-esque.
Could be some kind of fungus
something
or
alive, something
lichen
growing.
or something. Yeah, it definitely
Yeah.
looks biological.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
It is. It is. Now,
And we'll say for the listeners, it's also very sort of like different shades of tan and cream.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I will say that there are, for this particular species, it is
Okay.
found in a multitude of colors in a wide variety
fun,
of
okay.
places. There's not a ton known about this, but I can tell you a few things, including, what if I were to tell you that that's a crustacean?
What? No, it's not.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I need to wrap
Yeah.
my head around crustacean.
Yep,
No, Rachel.
crustacean.
See, this has not a single
Mm-hmm.
element to it
It's
that
not
resembles a
symmetrical.
crustacean in any
No,
way,
it's not.
shape, or form.
Mm-hmm.
I did a
What
whole episode
are
about
you talking
asymmetry,
about?
and I don't think
Yeah.
that this was on it.
Nope.
This looks like a small bush.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't look like a crustacean. What are you talking about?
This is a
What nonsense have you brought us?
so this is a crustacean, and not only is it a crustacean,
Stop saying that. There's no way it is.
it is. It is also a parasite. It is an endoparasite. So what we're still learning a ton about these, partially because they're pretty hard to find because they're endoparasites. And what they parasitize are sea
hang
stars.
on. Okay. I was
And
going to
not
say it sort of
only-
looks like the
Mhm.
lung tree. It looks like
Yes.
the branching of a respiratory system.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mhm. So this is called a Dendrogaster,
That's
and
a great name.
isn't it? And it lives
Says
within.
what it is.
It lives within the bodies of sea stars. Okay.
Oh,
so
gosh. Okay.
when they are in like the more larval form, once they infiltrate a sea star, they start to morph their bodies, and their bodies morph into the coral-like shape that
Okay.
branch and like have like tentacles. And what they do is they either, depending on the species, they will mimic the gonads or digestive system of their host. So they're within the colymic cavity of sea stars.
Hold on. When you say mimic, do you mean
Mm-hmm.
it looks like, or they take the shape of because they are inside of?
They take the shape of because they're inside of it.
Yes.
Wild.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So
That starts
very
to make more
similar
sense why they'd be this shape.
to-
Okay.
Yeah, very similar to when I think Victoria talked about the tongue-eating louse way
Ugh.
back, which
Yeah.
was
That was
awful.
horrible.
So this is the same kind of category of it takes over a part of the body, and it kind of just feeds off of its host in that space until that sea star isn't able to be used or like it can't live on
That's
anymore.
horrible.
Yeah. So
Ugh.
the females are the ones who they're the ones who settle within the colymic cavity, which is where like the middle part of the body, that's where all of the gases and like
Okay,
the
sure.
space that contains the organs in a sea star is. So like the main body part. And they produce eggs and larvae. And then males are actually much smaller. So the picture I had sent, and that is more common to be able to see, is of a female Dendrogaster.
Oh, wow.
The
Okay.
males are actually much smaller, and they live and tuck themselves inside of the mantle of females to be cushioned, just so that way they can give sperm over as much as possible.
Okay, yeah, just make it weirder. That's good, yeah.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Nature
the other-
truly is bizarre.
Isn't it? The best thing about these is that not only do we not know very much, but they seem to be a wide widespread parasite, in which that it is found in multiple branches of sea star families, and it's
Okay.
been found not only in like deep sea stars, but also intertidal sea stars, and the only in like northern and southern spaces, they're
Wow.
pretty much assumed
So
to
this
be
is
widespread.
Probably been a relationship that's been going on for
A long time.
then.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
What are these called? I don't think you said.
They're Dendrogasters.
Oh yeah, Dendrogasters. That's right. A cool name. We forgot.
It's very fun. The other thing is they're actually really hard to detect. You can't tell that a sea star
Yeah.
has them unless you cut it open.
That's not nice.
Yeah, so part of that reason is why it's hard for people to figure that out, whether or not we have, or how many there are, different species, what they all look like, how pervasive they are.
Sure.
There's a lot to be known, and like there's a pretty like a lot more research to be done for this particular area.
I
But
bet. Rachel,
I
have
saw
a,
these.
I have a
Yeah.
question though.
Sure.
Okay, so from what you said, I assume that the larval stage, which is what like moves around in the water and parasitizes a new sea star, looks more like a typical crustacean larva, I would expect.
Yes.
Probably.
As far as we know, we are not
we don't
really.
know?
We're pretty sure, but we don't know for positive.
So why does this not look like a
but-
crustacean?
Yeah, my other question is there any part of this thing that we're looking at that like you look at it and you're like, okay, that thing is a crustacean feature.
Right.
My understanding from the research that I did is it's genetic, from what they can tell that they are with crustaceans. They're really close in the
That's mind-blowing.
phylogenetic tree, but they don't. There's not really like similar morphological traits that they can tell.
That's so
Yeah.
fascinating.
Wow.
Because like
Okay.
one of the things I've talked to kids about when we talked about taxonomy
Mhm.
is this idea that most of these taxonomic groups were invented hundreds of years ago.
Mhm.
And it was just by scientists looking at stuff and going, well, this looks like this. Let's put them together. And
Pretty
the cool
much.
thing is that for the most part, now that we can do DNA testing, we've discovered that they got most stuff right.
Mhm.
Impressive,
there's-
really.
There's some fringe cases here and there, or there's some convergent evolution and stuff. But when they looked really carefully, they even figured out some of the convergent evolution as being, bogus. That they're not really related. So when you see something like this that we probably could only determine through like genetic testing,
Mhm.
it's sort of mind blowing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sort of breaks our perception of. And if you want to see this, you guys, again, look at our social media or check out the newsletter, which I know the free newsletter you're all subscribed to, and see this photo. It's this. How is this a crustacean?
Yeah. Well, it reminds me of that episode I did pretty recently about the smallest animal that's an endoparasite that's actually related
Yeah.
to jellyfish, but
Yup.
you wouldn't know to look at it.
Yeah, which is really what made me look at this and be like, give it a second look. Just because I just what? It doesn't look like a
It's pretty.
crustacean at all. It's really pretty.
Yeah.
Real insidious. And as far
I
as
don't
like
want
we
one.
know, there are at least 40 different species.
Wow.
Probably more. Again, it's hard to be able to tell just because of you have to cut open the animal, and no one wants to do that. It's
The diversity of parasites is just
wild.
way undercounted.
I knew about this, and I needed to do more research, and I just recently in 2024 they found 3 new species of Dendrogaster. So
Someone's cutting open jellies.
Oh, yeah.
Sea stars. Yeah.
sea stars, yeah. So absolutely wild. That's all I have for you all this week. Sweet, nice, short, sweet, but
That's
absolutely,
enough. That's cool.
It's really cool. My sources this week were a paper from the National Library of Medicine, 3 new species of sea star parasite Dendrogaster, Crustacea theocrustraca. Yep, from Japan by Saito Nobuhiro Saito et al. And then I feel like I should get a point, by the way, on my scientific name.
I'm thinking about it. You know,
Yeah.
it was you got there.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like people should write in and let me know what we should do.
Oh yeah.
Do we give her the point?
I think you should, but that's just me. Then also a paper in Science Direct, Insights into the Diversification of Deep Sea Endoparasites, Phylogenetic Relationships within Dendrogaster, Crustacea. Oh man.
It rolls off the tongue.
Yeah. Ascothoracidae. Yes. I can't do it again. And a new species description from a Western Pacific seamount. And then some info from the Australian Geographic. Literally, the title of it was The Dendrogaster Parasite is the Stuff of Nightmares. It was great. By Beck Crew, and then Wikipedia.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Thoroughly researched.
they did. So we're going to take a quick break. And when we return, it'll be Victoria.
This week's episode is brought to you by the Society of Strange. That's what we call our patrons over at patreon.com/strangebynature. Society members directly support the show they love, and depending on their level of support, get fun perks such as bonus content on select shows, insider photos, water bottle stickers, and here's a big one, every level of support gets every episode 100% ad-free. Come join the other lovers of the show, help keep this strange show going, and get those ad-free episodes. We'll see you all over at patreon.com/strangebynature.
Hey, we're back. So my topic this week was inspired by my topic from last week when I talked about the
nice.
chameleon that gives birth to live babies.
Oh, yeah. Wild.
And as one does, when I was researching it, I came across another topic that was related that was interesting enough in its own right. So today I am talking about another lizard. It's called the common lizard or the viviparous lizard.
Ooh.
There you go.
Just a little hint there. Its Latin name is Zootoca vivipara, also right there in the Latin name.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
So they are a pretty standard looking lizard, average length like 15 to 20 centimeters, thin body, long tail, kind of stripy. The color can be variable. It can be brownish, reddish, grayish, greenish, blackish. In females, the belly can be orange or yellow. The male underside can be more colorful with patterns of blue, green, yellow, or orange. They're exclusively insect eating. Okay. They're notable for having an extremely wide range, which is the largest range of any terrestrial reptile.
Whoa.
Yeah. Its range includes almost all of Europe, from northern Spain to the northern part of Scandinavia. And it extends east through a broad swath of northern Asia, including parts of Kazakhstan, Mongolia, China, Siberia, and ending on Sakhalin Island north of Japan.
Okay.
Okay, wow.
Huh.
So just like picture a giant swath across the northern part of Eurasia. The thing you might notice about this range is that a lot of it is very cold for large parts of the year.
Interesting.
And in fact, parts of it are above the Arctic Circle.
Huh. That's not normal for lizards.
It is not normal for lizards. Well detected, Rachel.
Thank you. I'm here for the hard-hitting, noticing observations.
Yes.
Great job.
This is the most northerly terrestrial reptile species in the world, in addition to having the biggest range.
Cool.
The
Fascinating.
only other reptiles that, as far as I was able to research, that are found above the Arctic Circle are the leatherback sea turtle, sometimes, which can be found in Arctic waters around Norway and Alaska, and the European adder, which is a snake whose range is actually similar to the common lizard, but doesn't extend quite as far north.
Okay.
Yeah. So the obvious question here is, how does a cold-blooded animal, an ectotherm, like a lizard, survive in such a cold habitat?
Yeah.
Well, part of it was right there in the name, and I kind of discussed this with the chameleon episode. The lizard is viviparous, asterisk, I will come back to this later. But it bears live young, which allows it to better control the temperature that the eggs develop at.
Okay.
Because they're inside their body. Now, when it comes to ectotherms, there's sort of two main strategies. You can be a thermoregulator or you can be a thermoconformer. And these are not absolute categories. Different animals can kind of do both at different times or under different circumstances. But basically, a thermoconformer is just like the same temperature as whatever is around it. So like most fish are thermoconformers. They don't actively seek to keep their body in a set temperature range. They can tolerate a wide range of body temperatures.
Right.
Thermoregulators engage in those sort of typical reptile behaviors that we think about, like basking or sheltering from the sun.
Okay.
So it's not going to be at like 98.6 degrees the way a human is, but it'll be a much narrower range that it can operate in. And it behaves in order to keep that range. Based on what I was reading, apparently often cold-blooded animals, ectotherms living in environments with a lot of temperature extremes will just like become thermoconformers because it's like very costly energetically to be a thermoregulator.
Okay.
But viviparous lizards are thermoregulators. They spend a lot of time basking. They work to keep their body temperature more constant. But of course, like it gets really cold, and so they have to hibernate during the cold months.
Yep.
How does this work?
Makes sense.
In like Siberia,
where it's cold a lot of the year.
Yeah. Surviving in like northern Sweden or Norway or something it's still cold, but there's typically a lot of snow. Temperatures are not as cold as Siberia. The climate is drier, not as much snow. Temperatures get quite low. So, well, it turns out there's a couple things it can do. First off, down to about -3 centigrade, which is 27 degrees Fahrenheit, the lizard can be in a supercooled state.
Ooh.
Yeah, so this is the lizard's not active at this point, but
I would hope not.
its body temperature is below freezing, but it is not itself frozen.
Oh, cool.
Are we talking like glycogen or what's going on?
Well, I couldn't find out specifically about this lizard, but there was another lizard that can get into a super cold state that I found a paper about in Mexico. And they seem to think that it's due to an increase in blood sugar concentration.
Okay.
Which, sugar, like if you try to freeze a sugar syrup in the freezer, the temperature's freezing temperature is going to be lower, right?
That's how the frogs do it too, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when the temperature drops further, they could actually freeze solid and survive.
Wow.
Down to a certain
temperature. That is
temperature.
so hardcore.
Solid?
It is solid. Yeah, they can freeze.
Oof.
Awesome.
And by experiment, a group of Russian researchers found that lizards from the coldest areas of eastern Siberia can survive temperatures down to -10 Celsius, which is 14 Fahrenheit.
Do they make an attempt to go down below the frost line, or is this an area where like the frost line is always there, even in summer? Like,
perfect question.
Never emerge.
To segue to the next thing I was going to talk about.
oh, awesome. Okay.
Good
How
job,
do they
Kirk.
pick their hibernation sites? Yes.
Yeah.
So it seems that lizards do carefully select the sites where they hibernate. They generally do not hibernate near the surface or in loose leaf litter or soil that's too vulnerable. They have
sense.
like a well-defined hibernation space. So they use beetle burrows, they use cavities left behind from decomposed tree roots, something
cool.
like that it's sort of solid but hollowed out. They will go down to a maximum depth of 13 centimeters, about 5 inches. They also choose soils that have a low moisture content. If the soil moisture content is too high, they will not survive.
Yeah, then you'd get
'Cause I think
really cold and freeze, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they do live, so some of their territory, habitat area, range, that's the word I'm looking for. Some of their range is in permafrost zones. But this same Russian team figured out that even in permafrost areas, there are patches that are close to sources of unfrozen groundwater that will remain at a slightly higher temperature. And this is also the case in soils that are like in the permafrost transition zone that are not frozen all year round. So they will take advantage of these sites near deep groundwater that remains unfrozen because it heats up the surrounding soil enough for them to survive down to their minus 10 Celsius limit.
But potentially that soil has a higher moisture content, so it's like...
Yeah, I don't know how that works.
Yeah, this is a species that's just like living on the edge, like really pushing the limits of where animals like it can go, which is always fascinating.
That's so cool.
Okay, you remember that asterisk?
Yeah.
Yes.
There are actually 2 populations of this lizard, one that is found in northern Spain and southwest France, and the other that's in the southern part of the Alps. So this is like the southern edge of this lizard's range, where they actually lay eggs instead of giving birth.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. And they're not different lizard species.
Well, it's a bit up in the air. Some people think they are, some people think they aren't. It's a little unclear whether they can crossbreed.
I can see why they might think that. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay, but this is controversial because some scientists believe, mainly based on some genetic analysis, that these egg-laying common lizards evolved from the live birthing lizards. And if true, this would be important because have you ever heard of Dollo's law? I had not heard of this.
No, that's a new one for me.
So it would be a violation of Dollo's law. This was proposed in 1893 by Louis Dollo, who was a Belgian paleontologist. And he stated that complex traits, such as, for example, eggshells, if lost through evolution, so they've been evolved the eggshell, if you lose it through evolution to become viviparous, you cannot re-evolve it in the same form. Basically, you can't go back to exactly where you started.
Okay.
That, I guess, makes sense. But also, like, the viviparous, like, they still have the eggs on the inside of their body, right?
But it's just like a membrane. It's not a complex
Just
eggshell.
a membrane.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Huh.
Yeah, but if this is true, then these lizards would be in violation of Dollo's law.
Yeah, they sure would be.
Huh. Maybe we need to look into Dollo's law.
Yeah. That's what I have. Just
that's wild.
a pretty unusual lizard that is, as you say, living on the edge. I looked at several different scientific papers. So one is from February 2016 in Polar Biology, How the Most Northern Lizard, Zootoca vivipara, Overwinters in Siberia. Supercooling tolerance in the Mexican lizard Barycia imbricata from Thermal Biology, January 2025. Lizards paid a greater opportunity cost to thermoregulate in a less heterogeneous environment from Functional Ecology, November 2016. And common lizards break Dollo's law of irreversibility from Molecular Phylogenetics and Evolution from October 2018. And a little bit of background information from Wikipedia.
That's so cool.
Amazing.
What a time. Thanks, Victoria.
You're welcome. I believe that brings us to the end of our show.
Indeed,
Yeah.
it does.
We did it.
Good times.
Thanks everyone for listening. We'll see
Yes.
y'all next week.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks everyone for listening to today's show. Be sure to subscribe. New episodes drop every Wednesday, and we love sharing this strange world with all our listeners. If you would be so kind as to leave us a 5-star rating and review wherever you get your podcasts, that would be great. It lets other lovers of the strange discover the show. You can reach us by searching for Strange by Nature Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, and Blue Sky. You can send us an email as well. Our address is contact@strangebynaturepodcast.com. If you want more information about the show, you can check out our website, strangebynaturepodcast.com, and you can support the show and get ad-free episodes at patreon.com/strangebynature. Until next week, get outside, stay curious, and embrace the strange.